Hey guys, and welcome to yet another Total War Warhammer Showdown. I'm a Rubber Duck of War, and today I shall be leading the mighty forces of Grand Cathay, showcasing their new Great Longma Rider Regiments of Renown, the Righteous Lancers of Wei Jin, and they look pretty damn cool, as you can see. The difference between them and the basic variety, apart from of course having better stats in general, is these bad boys have a significant amount of armor piercing, they have immune to psychology, as well as guardian, making them perfect bodyguards for probably the most popular Grand Cathay Lord, a flying kind of Lord of Yin or Yang magic. Normally you see people bring Yin, it does seem to be the most competitive. We have double Great Longmas in the sky, one of which of course is those Righteous Lancers, and the Giant Blood Lord coming in with three rather common spells. We have the Ancestral Warrior Halberd summon, we also have the Talons and the Slow, so pretty standard stuff so far. What's not quite so standard is we have double Sky Junks up in the sky to bring some pain. Now, due to the fact we've got better Great Longmas in the skies, like, why not bring Sky Junks, see how they do, see how they perform, and if they can take down the enemy infantry whilst being protected in the skies. Our actual ground force is pretty garbage. We have Jade Warriors and Peasant Long Spearmen, there's a couple of Halberds in the back, and also a Wujing War Compass, significantly better from a couple of patches ago where it got buffed. We are up against Logic and his Khorne force has gone very traditional, very wide as Khorne, which is what you see quite a lot in this matchup. Now, their cultists have been nerfed significantly, which I'm a big fan of. They can't instantly spam summon in your back line. They have to actually be in combat first, so that's going to be a bit of a change. Apart from that, we've got a load of Warhounds and Furies going on the flank, so a bucket ton of backline harass. We have Chaos Warriors of Khorne in the main battalion and battle line. My god, trying to get my words out there. And we have Bloodlayers of Khorne in the secondary rank, alongside some dual weapon Chaos Warriors. One of the Bloodlayers is the Hellforged Host. Likewise, we have the Heralds of Khorne's Fury at the back here, the swaggy new Regiment of Renown unit for Khorne themselves. So the Blood Crushers of Khorne, they look pretty damn fantastic. They've got to the Mantle of Immolation, trying to take some tips there from the Tzeentch Regiment of Renown. Nice debuff to melee defense, as well as flame resistance. And because Khorne can bring a decent amount of flaming attacks, always good to have that kind of stuff on display. We have a Herald of Khorne leading the battle charge on foot, cheap, cheerful, going wide, good standard competitive stuff. So we are going to be flying forward here with our Righteous Lancers as well as our Longmas, moving out to the flanks to attempt to get a sneaky little catch on these Chaos Furies and jump them. On the right hand side, we might actually be able to catch them here with the mighty Righteous Lancers. We do come in with a glorious Storm of Shadows, slowing my opponent down and jumping at them. Of course, at this point, seeing the Longmas come over, he probably should have landed them a bit quicker, because now they're going to get dispatched before they do indeed make it to the ground. And that's one thing I like about flying units now, is that you don't have to take air engagements if you don't want to. But we're able to catch this unit on this side. The far side, the trade's going far less well for us. Great Longma's actually struggling up against the Chaos Furies. We're going to have to retreat as my opponent does land on the ground. Their glorious barrage sound is, of course, the wonderful Sky Junks unleashing their first payloads into the enemy. Not the greatest with accuracy. I'm hoping over the course of an entire battle, they might be able to get some decent work done. Now, Warhound's trying to move around the flanks, perhaps looking to get some rear attacks in. I'm simply going to hound and harass them. How the tables have indeed turned. The Righteous Lancers looking to jump on top of the Chaos Warhounds, and we're quite comfortably picked them apart. Up to 107 leadership right now on the Righteous Lancers. They are really quite confident. We dispatch the Chaos Warhounds, send the others into the waiting arms of the Great Longmas. Rather risky charge in though. The Hellforged Host is right here. So I get in there, do some charge damage, and then very quickly scoop my booty out of there. Sky Junk's doing some nice damage, just aiming at the Chaos Warriors and the Bloodletters down on the ground, doing some okay damage, nothing too crazy yet, and we're just forming a nice defensive formation with our Spearmen. I don't want to get surrounded too much. Relatively slow start to the battle. There's been lots of hit and run action. We're mainly just slowly doing that chip damage with the Sky Junks, up to 21 and 25 kills so far. With those Furies out of the picture, we were going to be in a comfortable position to use up all our ammunition. And realistically, against Cathay, if they've gone double Great Longmas, it's going to be really hard to take down Sky Junks without receiving big charges and losing a lot of your air force. We're doing decent damage, focusing down the dual weapons at the moment, so I see them as quite a big threat to my infantry. They'll be able to burn it down rather quickly. Jade Warriors will be pushing forward to engage some beat-up Chaos Warriors of Khorne, though I still expect my troops to lose that. Peasant Longspearmen will be falling back behind the Halberds, getting a nice charge down there on the Chaos Warriors, taking the high ground, making Obi-Wan Kenobi as proud as physically possible. And our Longmas are now going to fly up and behind the enemy, looking for some big juicy rear attacks. Great Longmas jump the Chaos Warhounds in the distance, looking to shatter their resolve. We do have the Skyjunks moving slightly closer to the action. I'm really worried about our lack of accuracy and those long-range fights. Longmars are struggling to find a place to land, though. There's a lot of death and carnage going on all over the battlefield. I want a nice safe place for them to come down. We do get a big, juicy comet. My opponent, though, some beautiful micro, is able to dodge and actually drags my Peasant Longsword into it, doing massive friendly fire, though. So lovely bit of play there by Logic. We do come with a Talons, though, and I'm a bit like, well, you dodged one, you can't dodge two. The Halberdiers are holding the line, and bam, there we go, doing big damage to the Hellforged host as our cavalry swoops down from the skies. The Righteous Lancers bring their lances to bear on the Hellforged host, doing some lovely damage. Elsewhere, the fights are a bit rough for us. We got some chain lightning coming down. We're ripping it into the enemy formation. Peasant Longsword are dying in their droves, but that is what they were brought here to do. Skyjunks being completely unimpeded like this means they're going to get some really lovely value. We also have some great Longma riders on return after a bit of a long voyage. The Wuzhong War Compass has been hounded and harassed. We have the Ancestral Warriors now moving in, though. A lovely little summon, attempting to pin in the Heralds of Khorne, who are getting currently a big, juicy melee attack buff, up to 74 melee attack to shatter with a fantastic rear attack on the Jade Warriors, decapitating skulls and ripping out their spines, lifting them high into the air, screaming blood for the Blood God and skulls for the Skull Throne. My ground force is basically done for. I have a few Jade Warriors clinging on here and there. Great Longmars can do some lovely rear attacks into the Chaos Warriors and dual weapons under the heavy fire of the Skyjunks. Did some really lovely damage there, and bounce power's in my favour, but if we have an overview of the battlefield, things are not going well for my ground force. I just need to try and keep them alive for as long as possible and buy time for the Skyjunks to really dish the pain. It looks like we're going to be coming in with another Comet. This one is going to catch the Heralds of Khorne, doing some okay damage, nothing too crazy. A lot of the models were able to retreat. It's a rather slow cast, and my opponent, of course, is of good quality and is able to dodge it. Dual weapons are nearly spent, though. The Heralds of Khorne's Fury looking like they might get charged by some great Longmars. No, it looks like they're actually jumping at the dual weapons, trying to save the Wuzhong War Compass. I need as many ground troops alive as physically possible at this point. Ancestral Warriors are doing a decent job. The Peasant Long Spearmen are just about holding out. The Ancestral Warriors are nearly done for, but this last little bastion of strength has really bogged down my opponent's infantry, once again buying more and more time for the glorious Skyjunks to get in action. Got a bit of a fight in the distance here. It is Peasant Long Spearmen versus Chaos Warhounds, the stuff of legend, but alas, we will leave them to it in the forest whilst we focus on the main fight. Big shots come down range on the Hellforge. They're very close to breaking now, and their leadership is starting to wave one or two more good hits. We might be able to shatter them off the battlefield, and we do a big fight. Great Longmars taking on the Heralds of Khorne's Fury, and we're doing okay. The Heralds are really anti-infantry units. They got decent armor piercing to take on the Longmars, but with the mighty Righteous Lances flanking them and spearing them through the torsos and destroying creature and demon alike, we should have enough here to overwhelm the Heralds of Khorne, or at least I hope. The fact that the Righteous Lancers are so healthy in the late game certainly is going to help us out quite a bit. Now, the Skyjunks continue to fire in, doing big damage to the Warriors there, which is quite nice stuff. And in the back, the Drownblind Lord, of course, does finish off the Chaos Warhounds with the support of the Righteous Lancers. The Skyjunks are going to continue to poke and fire where possible. You can see the Heralds of Khorne have now been dealt with by our Longmars, and the bounce power is heavily in our favour, despite the fact my opponent has so many more troops left on the battlefield. We are 36, they are 529, but their troops are very beat up, and they don't really like seeing big fiery rockets bombard them from the skies. And I don't blame them. I personally wouldn't be in a happy situation either. Great Longmars going to continue to cycle charge. We do have the Wuzhong War Compass engaging with the enemy infantry, just trying to be a pain in the butt to them, and the Longmars are swooping back once more. Skyjunks continue to pound the enemy from long range. Hellforged host getting very beat up. We're running desperately low on ammunition. Looks like 4 volleys left here and 3 on the other unit. A big fat juicy Talons should be enough to finish off the Bloodletter core, though, of my opponent. That's certainly going to free up our Great Longmars to just greater freedom. Bloodletters, of course, with the AP could be a bit of a challenge to us, but dual weapons, I think we'll be absolutely fine. It looks like the Bloodletters are done for. Big barrage shots going down on the dual weapons. Warhounds chucking everything in physically possible. Ancestral Warrior Summon does come down, and is going to do a nice little kind of salute to the enemy general as he does dissipate and start to break there. So awesome game. Very well played to my opponent. I thought it was a good showcase of the power you can bring now with the Longmars in the skies. I think having a slightly more elite unit like the Righteous Lancers of Wei Jin really means you can dominate the skies, and in these land battle fights, Skyjunks certainly viable, particularly in this matchup. If your opponent goes obviously a Bloodthirster, we may have been in a bit of trouble, but with Guardian, our Lord can do decent work alongside our cavalry. Maybe we'd be able to drag down the enemy, but only kind of guessing here what would actually happen. The Mighty Skyjunks did pretty good, 160 and 167 kills, 1.5k and 2k value. They weren't the determining factor on their own though. I really do think the Longma cycle charging helped quite a bit. Wujin War Compass did okay, and the infantry was born to die, but hey, they did a decent job. As for the Heralds of Khorne, only 620 value on them, of course. We're trying out all the new units. I wouldn't normally recommend bringing these bad boys probably up against Grand Cathay. So many halberds and spears around, and they really met the end against the Longmas. Now, I've heard good things about these. People have been telling me they're quite good, but I'll have to try them out for myself. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to leave a big fat juicy thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content into the future. Both things help out massively. And feel free to leave a comment down below what you thought of the builds, what you thought of the matchup and all that good stuff. Or leave a funny comment. I really do enjoy reading through them. I can't really reply to that many now because I get like quite a few, which is really awesome. But yeah, I do read through them all and really appreciate the comments. There's all links down below, Twitch, Patreon, Discord. Massive shout out to my Patreons as well as my YouTube members for keeping the channel going. So until next time, guys, peace, peace. And as always, stay awesome.